Hello, welcome or welcome back to my YouTube channel. I know it's been so long that I've posted a video. It's because before college I was busy with college stuff, and then after college started, it was so hectic and I was not even able to read books. But after 2 or 3 days, I eventually started reading books. But when it comes to video, I was not at all able to make videos, even though I tried once, but the video quality was so pathetic that I don't want to make it anymore. That is what I felt on that day. But today I sat down and I was like, I have to make video because it's been so much time and I really wanted to. So here I am again making videos, and hopefully I'll be consistent with that because I have read around 4 or 5 books, I think so, which I have not made video about. So I think so I'll able to continue this and there will be a continuity in that. So let's get started. So the book I'm going to talk about in this video is The Midnight Library. I think so I've completed this book around 20 days ago, and I was not able to make videos, but I was so excited to make video about this book because I've written so much in this book and I really want to tell so much about. But it's been 20 days and I think so I have forgotten few things I really want to make video about. I was like, oh, I'll not forget about this because I was very keen on making video within 2 or 3 days, but because of so many stuffs were going on, I did not write it down, and I was like, I'll make it, but I didn't, and I think so I have forgotten few of these, but it's fine. Apart from that, let's get started with the book. So with coming on the book, how I get to know about this book. So actually I was reading some other book in my college and I heard few people talking about a book, and they were describing it like that there's a girl who wants to die and she chose death, like, and she wanted to die and she chose suicide as her option. But instead of dying, she went to a library and everything changed, and that is the whole story is about. And I was very keen on reading this book, but I did not even know the name. But one day when I was scrolling Amazon, I got to see this book, which is The Midnight Library. And for a brief moment of time I remember that is it the same book they were talking about, because this also says library midnight. So I thought maybe. And when I read about the book, it says, between life and death, there is a library, she said. And within the library, the shelves goes on forever. Every book provides a chance to try another life you could have lived, to see how things would have been if you have chosen the other options. Would you have done anything different if you had the chance to undo your regrets? And then after reading this, I realized that maybe this was the book they were talking about. So I bought it, and here I am. I really loved this book, and I would like to tell you about this book. And if you find it interesting, you should definitely give it a try. So, this book started with a girl named Nora, and before telling that she wanted to die or she died, there's a bit of backstory in this book. So it just signifies or dignifies that the fact that how things are going bad in her life. So actually this girl was so good on three different things, and she was so great in that, but she ended up choosing like a job which she was, when you have two three different things, you will excel in those two three different things. People will assume that you will do those things, but instead she chose so different path, and she was on the verge of firing out because the shop was not able to pay them. So they were like, we need, we can't pay you, we can't afford paying you. And that is how the verge come for her. And it also shows how so many people who are close to her, or so many things who are close to her, she started losing or she has losing. And then on one day, one of her schoolmate met her, and then she was like, oh, I thought you would be in Olympics, because she was so good at swimming. And that just the girl was so shocked that she is not in Olympics, because she thought, or the entire school thought, that she would represent the school or the hometown or the country to Olympics because she was really good on that. But she did not end up doing that. And after a series of incidents, she just wanted or she just chose death. But instead of dying, she went to a library. Remember that the library has no windows in it. It was just, a box of room, and she entered it, and there were so many books, endless number of books and endless number of shelves. And there she met the librarian. So when she was in school, she used to spend so many time in the library, and there was a librarian, and that same librarian she met in this midnight library. And then she saw so many books, but there was nothing written on the book. They were of same color but different length, height and size, but there was nothing written on it. So the librarian come and told her that with every possibilities you make or every choice you make, there's a different life get formed. Every single choice matter, and that makes a different life, and you have tons and tons and tons of life because every single day, every minute, you are making a choice. So that will end up having endless number of lives. And what happens here, that you choose a life and you go in that, and you started living that life. And if you really like that life, or if you're really happy in that life, you will, your memory of this life and you dying and you coming to the library will started or will start fading away. And that is what was told to her. And eventually over the period of time, she chooses different lives to live in. Like she wants to be a swimmer, and she goes to Olympics. So because she did not choose that in her real life or in her original life, she choose that she wants to marry someone, she wants to not haven't had breakup with someone, and all of this she chooses to. She choose not to pursue this as a job but pursue swimming as a job and go to Olympics. And she did end up winning two medal in that life where she chose being a part of Olympics. And with that she, and but she did not find happiness, which is to find the reason you have to read this book. I don't want to tell everything out there, but I'm just telling few things. So she's come back from that life, and from one life she has, breaking, she has broken up with someone, and then she just thought, what if I haven't had broken up with that person. So she had the chance to go in that life where she has not broken up, but she do realize so many things when she got in those life, and she did not end up liking it. And there is so many tons and tons of life she chose to go. And that you have to definitely read the book. I don't want to spoil it everything because every life teaches you so many things or something, and you will be really amazed by the fact. But and at the end, she did choose one life, and everything was going so beautiful, so well. And I was like, oh, thank God she find a life, thank God she is happy. And I was like, oh, for me also it was like finding a good life is the most important thing in the book. But I end up also realizing, because she is going to live in a life which is technically hers but is not technically hers, because there's a choice she made and that make her be in this life. But she is a different Nora from the Nora she was. So it is not easy to live up in that life. You can love someone in different phases of life, but what she was in that phase, although everything was going great, but she did not find herself. She was trying. She was just, trying very hard to love the life. Even though she was loving, she was trying very hard to believe that this is what she want. But she did end up coming back from that life, and she was questioning that, hey, I loved this life. But the librarian told her, do you really love the life, or do you want to love that life? And she realized that the other Nora will be really a perfect fit for that life, not her. And I was very shocked because I think all the purpose of this was her to find a life. But the purpose of the book, or the purpose of her choosing so many life, was to find or to realize that there is nothing better than her original life, and all of these life are very different from her original life. And at the end, or the ending, really surprised me because that was so different from what I was thinking. And this was so different, or the ending was so different what I had in my mind. And but I really like the book. I really enjoyed the book. I kind of find a comfort but also discomfort while reading this book. But if I have to, like, have to rate it, I will definitely rate it a 4.5 or a 5 out of 5. And I have to, like, tell someone to read it, or I have to had a chance suggest someone, I will definitely suggest this book. But and before ending this video, there is so much beautiful written, also there's so many beautiful lines, so beautiful incident that has happened in this book. I really want to tell you guys. I actually regret so much not writing the page number because there was so much to tell. So I'm just having a hard time to find the pages. It is actually from the very beginning of the book. It says, every life contains many millions of decisions, some big, some small, but every time one decision is taken over another, the outcomes differ. An irreversible variation occur, which in turn led to a further variations. And I really like this so much because it literally apply on our daily life also, that no matter how hard life is going, every decision matters. And if we try to make, or if we just try hard, and if we just take the correct decision and just try to take decisions, it will be different. Even though life is going hard, we just have to try every moment, every point of time, and it could be better. So before, or it's better not going to give up on things. It's better to always think and take decisions, because every decision matters so much. So I actually find one more. So as I told you that she has broken up with her boyfriend, or her fiance, because she thought that everything was going off, and but she don't want to marry him and whatsoever. But she thought that what if she has chosen that life of not breaking up with him, and how beautiful that life would be. But the fact is, she did not realize his red flags. And when she was in her life where she chose not to end the things with her boyfriend, and but when she was in that life, she realized that he has been cheating on her. And with that memory, or with that finding that she has been cheated, she realized, or she has the reflection of all of her red flags, sorry, all of his red flags, which she was, or she has been ignoring when they were dating. So one of it was like that. A tune, actually, beautiful sky. The day she had brought Dan the t-shirt that had been the day she had playing him a song she has written for the libretism. Beautiful sky. It was, she was convinced, the best song she had ever written, and more than that, it was a happy song to reflect her optimism at the point in her life. So basically, at that point, she was very happy in her life, and it was a happy song dedicating, or just saying that her life was going so good and everything was going so beautiful, and that's why she wrote the song. And she think that it was by far the bestest she could have ever written. And it says, it was a song inspired by her new life with Den, and he had listened to it with a stinging indifference that had hurt at that time, and which she would have addressed if it hadn't been his birthday. So it was his birthday. And it goes on. She wondered why the memory had started buried, only to rise up now, like a great white shark on his face fading t-shirt, on his fading t-shirt. So she realized this when she found out that he has been cheating on her. And she thought that why, after this happened, she never had a chance to to think about it. But now she remember all of these things. She has done so much, so and she has done so much things for him and for him or for his dream to come true to life, but he did not supported her with her dreams, and she did not realize at that point of time when they were dating, but now she got to know. And that was a thing that made me also very sad, that she had done so much so for him, and for his dream, whatever he wants to do, and she has left everything, but when it comes to her dream, he did not support it. He was so put off by the fact that she wrote a song, or she had done the effort to sing that song for him. He did not even care, and the cherry on top is that he cheated on her in that life, which was very sad. And then she realized. That was one thing that I really want to say, and there are so many things, so let me just try to find it, because the mishap is that I did not wrote it down. One of the pages, it says, life is strange, life is strange, she said. How we live is all at once in a straight line, but really that's not the whole picture, because life isn't simply made of the things we do, but the things we don't do too. And every moment of our life is kind of turning, which is so true, because life is not only made up with the things we choose to do, but is also made up of things we don't do or we choose not to do, and that defines, because every point or every decision you make turns thing from here to there. So every point, every decision is so important, or you can say is a life changing decision. It may or may not be a big decision, but it contributes to somewhere you are right now in your life. That was not it, but you should definitely read it. And there is so much so that I can just rant for an hour about this book, but it will not be enough, because I really like this so much, and I have written so much so on this book. I've even written a note, because at some point I felt so bad for Nora, because at that point she was not feeling good, and she thinks that everything that has happened, or everything bad will happen only to her. There are also really good quotes in the book. One of it says, "You can be anything you wanted to be," and that is so true. You just have to be you, and you can just be anything you wanted to be. You just have to believe in yourself, and you just have to think about it, and you can be. There is nothing in this world that if you think you wanted to, but and you worked hard for that you wanted to, and you worked hard for that, you cannot achieve. You can be definitely whatever you wanted to be. And one other is, it is actually both of this were very polar apart. It says you can have everything and still feel like nothing. I think it was said at that point of time when she chose one of her life, and she was very happy, she was achieving everything, but deep down she knows that she can have everything but still feel nothing. The fame, popularity, money, whatnot, but she still felt like she don't have anything, she has nothing. And with that, there is so much more in this book, and personally I have felt so much with this book. I have written so much. I've written on literally every other page, because I feel, or I had some kind of feeling with every other or every second or third or fifth page. I will even give you a brief tour of my book, and I will definitely rate it a 5.5 or 4.5 will definitely, if I have to suggest you this book, I will definitely say go for it, read it. It is actually really good, and you will really feel connected with the character. You will have so many different feeling, have different reactions with the when the book ends, and it does kind of end in a different note. I personally felt that it is going to end on a different note, which it was, but till few pages and everything turned up and right. But it was really good, and yeah, you should definitely give it a shot, and you should definitely read this book. And yeah, that is it for today's video. Bye.